we are coming to the end of 2020, and just going to reminisce about this year and talk about uh, what happened and KBBT, how it birthed, and my trips, and just kind of reminisce a little bit. And I'm going to share with you something that you're going to absolutely enjoy that we put together basically to finalize this year. And 2020 was a year to forget for most people. 2020 was a very hard year, obviously with COVID and everything else. But to be honest with you, 2020 also, most of you found renewed passion for the great sport of fishing. And fishing in the outdoors industry really took off this year. Most of us were able to spend a little bit more time with our families, a little bit more time just kind of, staying out of the office. It kind of reset the grind that we all got caught up in the last couple of years, working our fingers to the bone, but yet having a little bit more balance in our life. And learning that even the industries that we are in, we could still do work, mostly telecommuting, those of us in the service industry. But let's be honest, a lot of people took some hard hits, all from unemployment and so on and so forth. And, financially, it wasn't the best year for folks, and people are still hurting for that. I hope things get better. I really do, and I pray that this country gets back to where it needs to be. That way, we can be a full-fledged capitalism-based economy and not having to worry about government handouts and all that good stuff. Let's just get people back to work. But with all that being said, it was a very interesting year, a very good year for a lot of anglers. I had the opportunity to get on the road and really just get back on the road and do something very unique that most people just couldn't do. I took my dog and I took a camper and I went across the United States and did some fishing. It was amazing. It was an amazing journey, and I got to meet a lot of you, and I just really can't thank you enough for the hospitality. And there was just commonality. There's a common bond. Me and you have never met in person, most of us, and you treated me like a friend, a brother, a family member, and I can't tell you how much I've appreciated everything that you've done for me. As I met you, and one thing that we got to do is showcase yourself, your talents, and your waters. Something that you have so much to be proud of. And I had to see what was going on. I had to see, touch, feel, smell some of the great, absolute fantastic fisheries that you guys showcased during KBBT. And we kind of just made a mental log and a mental journey throughout, and some of the memories I'll never forget. Some of the best memories I've ever had this year were actually not even fishing. So, and a lot of you guys are a part of that, and something I'll never ever forget. But as you know, COVID changed a lot. COVID changed, how this year was going to be. I was excited. I was excited about, the Hobie Bass and the Hobie BOS series and KBF and Bass. And, my year started off at Lake Norman. Actually, I'm sorry, my year started at Lake Seminole and then went to Lake Norman. And, man, just was looking forward to just putting my full-fledged schedule together. And that was both saltwater fishing and freshwater fishing. And, man, it all came to a grind. And, just because we had COVID and just because they said we couldn't fish, man, I had this passion, to compete. And just like most of you, just want to compete. And it's you versus the fish versus others. And so the idea came up, with not having March Madness and the NCAA bracket not being able to take place in March. That's to me is one of the most pinnacle sporting events in the country, is being able to have collegiate basketball and be able to either gamble on it or fill out your brackets or what have you. I'd literally take off work basically during the first couple games, sit somewhere and just watch my bracket. And it's something I've always done ever since I was in high school. It's just something I absolutely enjoyed. And so the idea came about to do the same kind of type of bracket with fishermen. And it took off. It was very easy to fill up. All of the brackets this year were pretty easy to fill up. It kind of just grew to its own. And One thing it did, it really showcased a lot of anglers who felt like, yeah, I mean, they're not part of the whole traveling crew or not part of the top 10 or top 20, but man, they can fish. And, one thing that we're proud about is we were able to broadcast and showcase your talents. And, man, we saw some amazing, amazing fish being caught this year. And so I want to be able to just kind of tell you I surveyed a lot of, not a lot, but basically the top 5 anglers that caught the biggest fish. Not only just in KBBT events, guys. These are events I was a part of. These are events I got my butt kicked in and saw some tanks being caught. So I put together a list. I put together a list of the top 5 baits that are either caught in KBBT events or caught in live events I was a part of, and asked the anglers if it was okay to share that information. Now, one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to share the angler who caught it, and I'm not going to share the location. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair, but I will share the baits that they were caught on. Some I was a witness to, and some I wasn't. But after it was caught, I certainly asked them what it was, and they graciously agreed. So without further ado, here are the top 5 baits that caught absolute giants this year in 2020. The very first one was a Zoom green pumpkin fluke, tail dipped in chartreuse dye, weightless. And buddy, let me tell you, this was a tank that was caught. It was probably the biggest bass caught this year. Monster that I've seen. And again, I'm not going to tell you who it was or where it was, but the Zoom green pumpkin fluke, tail dipped in chartreuse, was a monster catcher. Unbelievable. The second bait that was used to catch an absolute, it was close to this monster, was a white 3/16 ounce Strike King buzzbait. Caught in an event that I fished, and man, it landed a double-digit bass. It was unbelievable. Just a huge, huge bass. Incredible. And man, I was so jealous. But what a catch! And to catch it on top water with a buzzbait, oh my gosh, I was so jealous. The third fish, again, was very close, if not, I think it was a little bit. Yeah, it was very close to the first two. Was a bruised pumpkin jackhammer, Z-Man jackhammer, with a BizBait Bama colored crawl. That's what this third biggest bass that was caught on. And with a BizBait Bama colored crawl as a trailer. And again, a bruised pumpkin jackhammer. Jackhammer, they just lit them up this year, right? So the $17 that you pay does make it worth it. It definitely did. The fourth bait that was used, and I witnessed this one, was a 6 cents Black Magic square bill caught off a ledge. Absolute tank caught right in front of me. 6 cents Black Magic square bill crankbait caught off a ledge. Unbelievable. It was beautiful. Huge fish that was caught there. And I had to go out and get one after I saw that. The fifth fish, or the fifth bait that was caught, an absolute freaking giant. And this was, honestly, it was off of a ledge, off of a grass flat in the tournament that I was in, was a 7-inch Zoom green pumpkin trick worm on a shaky head. Giant caught. In fact, multiple giants caught on a shaky head 7-inch Zoom trick worm. Green pumpkin. So there you have it, guys. Those are the top 5 baits that were caught in 2020. And every bass that I mentioned was over 24 inches. Incredible. Giants caught this year that I personally witnessed, been a part of through KBBT, or was in a tournament with. And those baits were the top 5 baits that I personally saw that caught freaking giants. Guys, here's the 2020. We're almost over. May your 2021 be way better than 2020. God bless you. Let's get it on next year, y'all.